Howdy ho, internet. It's the Orpig coming to you, and today I wanted to talk to you about leaving your ego behind when you go to the gym. One of the biggest mistakes that we can make, and especially guys, because we have the bigger egos than females. Females don't really have this problem, thankfully, but guys, we do. We have a big ego, and that's part of who we are. And when you weightlift, bodybuild, strength train, whatever it may be, a lot of times we enhance this or increase this attitude that we have to where you want to be bigger, stronger, faster, right? We're competitive. It's in our DNA almost. Okay, but when you go to work out, when you go to lift, it's important that you leave this behind, okay? It's only going to hurt you if you go to the gym with your ego, and this is what I mean. When you go lift, for starters, you can't be concerned about what everybody else is doing. What everybody else is doing in that gym is irrelevant to what you're there to do. It doesn't matter who the biggest guy is. It doesn't matter who's the strongest, who's lifting the most weight. None of that matters. It doesn't matter what this guy next to you is doing. It doesn't matter what the guy over here is doing. It matters what you're doing, what weight you're using, what you're there to accomplish. So remember that. Shut everybody else out, all right? Like Kevin Costner in Love of the Game. Clear the mechanism. Boom. And it's just you. And that's why a lot of us work out with earphones a lot of times. I know I do. Is to isolate myself. It's only me in that gym. The second reason is you have to be open to criticism. Okay, so recently I went with my good friend Christian to work out, right? And he wanted to do legs because he said he couldn't find anybody to do legs with him. And I do everything. I do legs, and so he's like, let's do legs. So I'm like, great, let's do it. So we did legs, and we started with squats like we do. And, you know, he was timid or was hesitant to come out and say, do you want help? But he finally did. He's like, look, can I give you some pointers? Are you open to them, or what's your deal? And that's how a lot of people are. A lot of people don't want to hear anything from another person. They don't want to hear anything from an outside perspective. But I was like, yeah, absolutely. You know, tell me what I'm doing wrong, especially with squats. I know I needed help with squats because even before when I worked out, I didn't do a lot of squat. And in fact, I hardly did any. I only did leg press and stuff. I just worked out my legs to what I had to do. It wasn't a major concern of mine. And so I know all these people who I look up to and admire all preach squats. So therefore, I've been forcing myself to do squats, and I've been trying to force myself to like them. So much so that a lot of times I do 10 to 12 sets just because I'm going to make myself better at it. I'm going to make myself good at it. Anyway, so he tells me, he starts giving me some pointers, like a lot of pointers, right? Like I was doing a lot of things wrong. So he started helping me out. My hips were wobbly. I'm leaning forward. The weight's coming forward. My feet placement is wrong. I'm not pointing my toes out. Just all kind of things. And the only thing I was thinking was get as low as I can and then push up, explode up with my legs. So he's like, he's helping me out. He's giving me these tips, and then he's like, you know, you might even want to go down in weight. And my first thought is absolutely, like, yes, like let me go down in weight. I'm not there to compete with him, which, you know, going into it, I'm the weakest guy there is at my gym and among my friends probably. So I knew right off the back, I told him, like, look, I don't lift a lot of weight. I know I'm big and I've done a good job of growing muscle fiber, but I haven't done a good job of strengthening my muscle fiber. So my muscle fibers are not that strong. I have a lot of them, but they're not that strong, okay? So he was like, hey, that's cool. So he did probably a much lighter workout, even though he says he didn't. But he probably did a much lighter workout to be closer to the weight I did. But I don't mind. I told him, I was like, look, man, whatever weight you want on there, I will throw on the 45s, and I will, you know, take them off and put mine on. That's on me because I don't lift that much weight, and that's fine. He's like, no. And so he did a weight close to mine. But even then, I dropped down in weight, and I probably should have went down even more in weight. Why? Because form over weight. Form is more important than weight. I'd rather lift 135 pounds and have really good form and properly lift the weight than I would to just do 225 and say, yeah, I did 225. I'd rather do 225 one time properly than do, you know, 415 improperly. I mean, that's how I am, and I think that's how everybody needs to be, and that's just my opinion. Maybe you disagree, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree, but I always preach form. I always think it's more important. And if you don't leave your ego behind, you're going to be like, nah, man, I got this. I mean, I just recently saw a video with Kai Green working out, and he talked about how when he works out with some guys, a lot of new up-and-coming either bodybuilders or strength trainers or whatever, they feel intimidated by him, and they try to keep up with him and move up in weight. Like, I've never had that issue. I have no problem, when he's sitting there curling 135, I have no problem saying, okay, we're going to have to drop this down to, 85 for me and, and do my curls with that. I've never had an issue with that. And that's what a lot of people probably should do. But instead they're like, oh, I'm working out with him. And that's what he talked about was these people who do these ego lifts, right? They slap on this heavy amount of weight and they just rock their body and they just do whatever they can to get the weight up, even though they're not properly stimulating the muscle. They just feel like, I did the weight. I did it. I accomplished it. If you're doing bench press, you're twisting and torquing your back and arching and pushing your stomach up, and you have just the most disgusting form there is, but you feel satisfied some kind of way because you did the weight, but you did it improperly. So, you would get red lighted if you were doing powerlifting. I mean, it's not a good lift. It's bad for you. It increases your risk for injury, and it doesn't properly stimulate the muscle that you're trying to build, okay? So guys, leave your ego behind. Pick up the less weight. Do it properly. Be open to criticism, no matter who it is in the gym. Be open to it, but especially from your workout partner, because probably you're working out with this person because you respect them and you know that they might have some knowledge, and we're always learning. So while I might be able to show Christian something on curls, maybe not. Maybe he's going to show me something when we do arms together if we get that chance. Maybe he's going to show me something to work out arms. I'm just saying, maybe I can show him something one day and return the favor. But he showed me a lot, and I never would have learned this, and I probably would have injured myself down the line had I not been corrected by him. But I was only able to get corrected by him because I left my ego at home. And I said, look, just because I appear bigger than this guy, even though to me Christian is he's a huge powerlifting guy, and he's definitely a big dude. But, if I was vain or whatever and be like, who are you to tell me? Like, I know what I'm doing. No, I don't know everything. And the minute you know everything is the day you stop learning. And if you're going to stop learning, then why even do anything? Why even do any of this? You know it all. So you're probably not even watching this video. You probably don't even care. You're probably just putting on your own videos because you know everything. You never know everything. You never know everything. You are always learning, and you have to always be open to instruction and criticism. All right? So that's the Orpig. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe down below, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Hey, if you stuck around, it's time for another What's on My Set List? So today's song is an old classic by that rock group Queen, who I love, and almost all their songs could be put on your set list, but my favorite is Fat Bottom Girls. That is one of my favorite Queen songs, and it is a solid number in my set list.